Hi everybody, this is Hero from the Birds, back with another Shadowlands video, and today we're going to take a look at an analysis of Sun King from the perspective of a Holy Paladin. Sun King is a fairly unique fight in that has a major healer mechanic associated with it, and different guilds have tackled this in various ways, opting to use Holy Priests or Resto Shamans to pump a ton of heals into Kael'thas, and there are different ways that you can quote-unquote cheese this fight, and Holy Paladin has one very specific to it that I'd like to talk about very briefly today, just so you have a sense of what to actually do and how to perform this rotation. It involves three main pieces. The first is using your beacon on Kael'thas. The second is, if you're Venthyr, using your Ashen Hallow in the first portion to cover both Kael'thas and your entire raid, and also to cover the lanterns that might pop up after the ads die in this first phase. And the third piece is casting a bunch of holy lights onto Kael'thas in this first phase. So I'm going to show you the footage of it in a second, but just let me show you the talents and why this build works the way it does, and then we'll show you a little bit of this footage just so you can see in practice what's going on with this kind of a build. First case, the 15 row, we're probably going to be taking Bestow Faith. Crusader's Might's okay, but it's largely not going to provide us the throughput we want, especially in the phases when we need to heal Kael'thas. Judgment of the Light is fine. We're not going to get a lot of value out of Saved by the Light and Holy Prism. Later on, I'm looking at Divine Purpose and Awakening, largely because Holy Avenger is a little bit awkward. We don't really have targets to attack, or if we do, we have to move away from Kael'thas and ruin some of the mastery that we get from standing next to him. Sanctified Wrath is probably fine here, but I tend to use Awakening just to pair it up with Divine Purpose and get more procs, but both of them work fine. And here, in the 50 row, the most important one, we need to take Glimmer of Light. And actually, the reason has less to do with Glimmer and more to do with the fact that we want a constant 50% beacon on Kael'thas during the healing phases. Obviously, Beacon of Faith is going to split that up and reduce it down to 35%, and Virtue gives us lower uptime. So we want Glimmer of the Light because we can put our beacon on Kael'thas and pump a bunch of heals into the group. So here's the basic strategy. I'm just going to select myself so that you see what exactly the heals are on pull. As the group starts, you go right up to Kael'thas. You want to use your lay on hands on him right away, get your beacon, and then drop Hallow with your wings. And Hallow's going to do so much work for you here because it's going to convert all of the healing you do on your party members into Beacon of Light healing. You're going to see it shoot up in just a second. And then it's also going to do a lot of healing to Kael'thas himself. Holy Light spam with the Inflorescence legendary is going to allow you to pump even more heals. So you can see overall we're going to spike in this pull around 12 or 13k HPS. I think if you had, the world first setup and what they were doing, you could probably make that even higher. But you'll notice that we're sort of healing both of these targets who are on the pillars. We're healing everybody in this core group, and then we're spamming heals. You can see me standing right beside Kael'thas to get as much of my mastery as you possibly can. In phases 2, where you have to follow the shade around, it's a little bit more of a simplified rotation. You just Crusader Strike. You want to keep your glimmers out. You can Holy Light if you want, but I would suggest to try and avoid that because of all the movement requirements. But overall, this is the main strategy, and this is how you can cheese this fight as a Holy Paladin. If you're not Venthyr, I would actually suggest that your healing core move away from you as the primary target to heal Kael'thas. You can just do your normal Glimmer things and take care of the raid, and have somebody else set up to pump Kael'thas full of heals. Specifically, I would probably say a Resto Shaman is a good choice for this, but lots of other classes can do it too. The point is that if you can pool your resources to allow one person to do a bunch of the healing in this first phase, it'll help you out getting into the second iteration of this, where you have access to a bunch of the Healing Orb benefits. That's the one thing you don't have on pull, which is why the Venthyr Paladin is well suited to do this. You can just burst heal everybody down and pour it into your beacon. I hope this helps you guys to understand sort of what the World First Raiders were doing when they took on this fight, and maybe some of the strategies that you can deploy as a Holy Paladin for this fight as well. Hope you enjoy, guys. We'll catch you again next time.